the gymnasium at Golden West College for the Wrestler Game of the Week. Tonight, the Lady Wrestlers host a women's volleyball competition as they welcome the Riverside Tigers. Hello everyone, I'm Rob Frecker alongside John McNichols, and it's our pleasure to be bringing you our first women's volleyball contest of the 2009 season. Well, John, both of these teams come off of big wins last week. Riverside taking down Santa Ana, and Golden West taking down the big opponent, OCC.
And it's always good to come off of a win over OCC, but that win tonight doesn't mean anything. I expect a pretty close contest. Riverside is a young team that's getting better.
And OCC was ranked number 3 in the state. Golden West was ranked number 10 at the time. We expect that the next poll, those numbers should change.
Well, and again, it's always good to beat OCC at OCC. The next round, we'll play them here. Hopefully, it'll be the same result. But tonight's contest, a young Riverside team comes in, 2 sophomores on the roster, mainly freshmen, and a team that's getting better. Let's see how that works out.
Riverside under the direction of Misty May for her second season, so a lot of rebuilding going on at Riverside this year.
And that's we've seen the same thing here at Golden West. The new coach brings in new players. We play Riverside in several sports. They always show up ready to play when they come to Golden West.
Head coach Bill Lawler for Golden West, I spoke to him earlier before the game today. He said that he's a little concerned coming off of a big win that these players aren't going to get too big-headed.
Well, and that's always a concern for a coach. Again, he's a new coach and has a relatively new team. They have gelled early and have been playing very well. We expect a good contest tonight, but I do not expect a 3-set match. This one could go 4 or 5. I do believe they're 2 pretty evenly matched teams.
Both of them have some strong outside hitters and some strong blocks. Could be very close.
And there's one sophomore that's caught a freshman that's caught my attention, Amanda Villapondo, a 5'10" freshman middle blocker from Notre Dame. But in the last several contests, she's been a killing machine. She's spiked a lot of balls to the floor. We need to block her tonight, or she could make it very interesting.
And it certainly could be an exciting one.
We expect that every time that Riverside shows up. I did have the opportunity a little bit earlier in the year to talk to Al Gasparian, the athletic director here at Golden West College, talking about all of the fall sports program. Hopefully we have an opportunity to show that interview right now. Well, Al, here we go again. Back for another year in athletics at Golden West College. What's the outlook for the fall sports program here at Golden West?
Well, it seems like about a week ago that we wrapped up the spring, but I think we're going to have a very exciting fall. Our football team is moving in the right direction. Coach Mitchell's got them going. We've got a record number of guys in recent history. You know, they're real solid. We're very deep, and we're really looking forward to a good season. Our men's and women's water polo teams, I think, will be state contenders. And, you know, we're Scott Taylor, our men's coach. We won the state last year, and they look very strong this year. Kyle Kopp, who's now our second-year women's coach, has a much improved team from last year. They're off to a very good start, and I think we'll surprise some people. Women's volleyball we have a new coach, Bill Lawler, who came over after, I think, 13, 15 years at Cal State Los Angeles. And we'll get some stability back in that program, and they'll be right up there, I think, in the conference, and do a great job. Also, we've got both men's and women's soccer and men's and women's cross country going in. And we're excited. It's a great time at Golden West.
And we have one new coach for volleyball, and that's it as far as the fall sports for new staff people.
That's the only new head coach. We've got a few new assistant coaches here and there, but you know, it's good because it's a transitional part-time job, and they come in and they move on and move up the ladder, and we're happy to have them when they're here.
Now, the economy has had an effect on all aspects, especially in the education area. Are you guys feeling any particular pinch in that realm at this time?
Oh, definitely. But you know, we've actually at Golden West, we're very streamlined, and we've made some cuts a few years ago due to the budget, and I think what that's really done is make us stronger and efficient. And you know, we're wearing uniforms an extra year or 2 than we normally would, and you know, there's a few of the extra things we just don't get. But you know, we've got players, we've got teams, and we're out there being competitive, and that's really what counts. So we'll make do.
And the state water polo tournament is going to be held here and we're looking forward to that. We really enjoy doing the water polo games.
Oh, it's great, and it's such a fantastic, fast-paced sport, and you know, we're going to host it, and we haven't hosted for an awful long time of any state tournament, so we're honored to be able that the state selected us our new pool, which has been open a couple years now, and we've got the kinks out. It's in good shape, and you know, we'll do a good, solid, organized job. Danny Johnson, our sports information director, is the event manager and is just tremendous at that type of thing. And you know, we're excited, and hopefully both of our teams will be in it.
And we've had discussions before about bringing back basketball and the construction of a stadium on campus, but I realize in the current economic situation, there's no need to discuss those things until things in general just get a little bit better. So we'll hold that one for another interview. Well, we're off and running for another year. We'll have our first home game at Orange Coast tomorrow against Mount Sac, perennially tough. Always good to talk to you. Good
Thanks,
luck
John.
all the way through this year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, John, for those words with Albert Gasparian, the sports director here. He loves women's volleyball. Of course, he was a longtime head coach here for women's volleyball. Huge success here with women's volleyball. It's kind of his little baby program here.
Yes, it is, and we're looking up at the state banner. The last time we won state championship in women's volleyball, 2004. It's a little early to predict anything, but I think this team's going to be competitive.
It should be an exciting season. I want to make one correction. I said the Riverside coach was Misty May, trainer. She is not the Olympic participant. It's Monica Hayes, trainer, also a fine coach. We'll have the first game when we come back right after this.
The hands-on experience that I'm pretty sure everybody in the industry needs their employees to have.
The class prepared me by giving me more hands-on experience. We get to go in the field and actually do television production.
The class has actually phenomenally prepared me towards my career goal. I have about a year left with my training and education before I actually end up in the job market that I want to be in.
The class has prepared me by giving me a lot of hands-on experience. It's taught me everything from being a stage manager to working the cameras to being in the control room and the different machines, working the different machines in the control room.
Prepare for an exciting career in broadcast and video production at Golden West College. At Golden West College, you can earn an Associate of Arts degree in broadcast and video production and a Certificate of Achievement in video production. Golden West College Broadcast and Video Production Department also offers certificates of specialization in sportscasting, avid editing, broadcast journalism, electronic movie making, script writing, After Effects motion graphics. Students work in a dedicated state-of-the-art television studio which is used for instruction and in the production of programs for broadcast and cable television. Golden West College is the only community college in Orange County that teaches Avid editing, the industry standard, using dedicated Avid HD editing stations. Golden West College provides students with state-of-the-art equipment for use in classes. Each of the instructors in the broadcast and video production program are working professionals in the industry. The curriculum is based on broadcast industry standards and is reviewed regularly by an advisory board of broadcast and video production professionals. Daytime and evening classes are available. Classes are affordable. Financial aid is available. What are you waiting for? For more information, visit us online at www.gwc.info or call 714-895-8798. That's Golden West College, Broadcast and Video Production, located in Huntington Beach, California.
Welcome back. John, as we look at the warm-ups here, one of the issues that the Riverside Tigers face this evening is a very short roster. just 10 players that are healthy and eligible for tonight's contest.
Yeah, their original roster was full of freshmen, 2 sophomores, injuries, perhaps some eligibility questions at this point of the season. They are down numbers-wise a little bit. In the long run, maybe games 2 and 3, that can make a difference, a little fatigue. But you still play the same number on the court, and we'll see how that plays out tonight.
So a very strong hitting team for Golden West. We saw some excellent kills up there and also some blocks. We also noticed that the Riverside Tigers are a little bit shorter on average compared to the Golden West Rustlers.
Well, and I've been watching some Pac-10 women's volleyball the last couple of weeks. You get teams like Stanford, Cal, SC, UCLA. They've all got a 6'6" person in the front line. On the community college level, those players are few and far between. Riverside will be a little on the short side tonight. Height-wise, we'll see how that pans out on the court.
Both these teams getting set to go just a few seconds away here for the 3rd Orange Empire Conference contest for both of these teams. Golden West enters 2-0, having defeated OCC recently.
Our arch rival OCC went down in 3 2 nights ago at Orange Coast. The coach is a little concerned about a bit of a letdown. It's always nice to beat your crosstown rival. Let's hope that letdown doesn't occur tonight.
Riverside enters the match 1-1 in conference play, having beaten Santa Ana. But they face some tough competition this upcoming week. They've got Golden West tonight, then they have to go to Orange Coast as well.
And Orange Coast, as you said earlier, was number 3 in the state up until their loss on Wednesday night to Golden West. The road ahead for Riverside is not an easy one.
Both of these teams in sort of rebuilding mode this season. So we mentioned this is Coach Bill Lawler's first season with the Lady Rustlers. And Monica Hayes, trainer, in her 2nd season with Riverside Tigers.
Just a word as far as the game and scoring is concerned. They played best 3 out of 5. The first 4 games are played to 25 points. The winning team must be 2 ahead at 25, or they play on until somebody is ahead. If game 5 is required, that game goes to 15. Winner must win by 2.
So Golden West in their traditional green jerseys, Riverside in the orange, and it's Golden West who will get things started in the form of Alex Risco to serve for the Rustlers.
And just a word to those of us who are have watched volleyball for a long time. The scoring system in today's volleyball game is what's called rally scoring. A point is scored on every serve. The former method of scoring was only the serving team could score. Rally scoring, every serve leads to a score for one team or the other.
Libero make their way into the match. Mary Lombino, she'll be wearing the opposite for Golden West, and we are underway here. Over free by Riverside. Good set, and it's Maritza Montez with the first point of the match for Golden West. We should be hearing a lot from Maritza Montez tonight.
Her name will be mentioned many times. The average play in volleyball is 3 hits. Ball must go over on the 3rd hit.
It's over soft, and it's a point to Riverside. That's Amanda Villalpando, a name you mentioned, John, in the pregame with the first point for the Tigers.
And she's been on a roll the last several games. She's been a major factor for Riverside. Just a freshman playing college volleyball.
Miscue by the Rustlers, but they're able to recover. Kayla Morrell with the miscue, but good block there by the Rustlers, and they regain a 1-point lead. Back to serve for the Rustlers, Shavonda Savage. Comes to Golden West out of Bellflower High School. Strong serve. Good block up at the net. Unfortunately, Alex Risco isn't able to get to that one. Point back to the Tigers, 2-2.
You'll see many points scored tonight in that no man's land just behind the front row. Very difficult area to block in men's and women's volleyball.
Savannah Brazil serve is fielded by the Rustlers. It's over on a miscue, but Montez will take it any way she can. As of September 29th, when the last edition of Stats and Standings were posted for the state, Montez was ranked number 2 in the state for kills, about 133 on the season. Soft hit there by Lindsay Sappington. Couldn't put it over the net. Faith Alliston will retain the serve for the Lady Rustlers. Strong serve.
Nobody there. The ball can be played anywhere on the court that the player can get to it. That one was blocked too far out of bounds.
Again, a strong serve by the Rustlers. Risco got a touch to it and went out of bounds. We'll have some substitutions here on both squads.
That ball looked like it might have gone out of bounds, but the players will play that ball most of the time. They don't want to give away a free one.
Libero with a big hit there. Here's Risco. Big swing. Alley board. Risco can't get to it.
Good rally. It's nice to win those rallies. Riverside won that one.
So Villalpando back to serve again, trailing by 1. That's alley board. Her kill is too tough to handle there by the Tigers. And she takes the serve back to the Rustlers.
Looks like Riverside's trying to use a 2-player block close to the net.
Montez with a big jump serve. It's over freely. Good play by the libero to get it over. Risco will put it over soft. And again, Lombino gets to it. And it's a bit far from Risco. Lombino has proven herself to be quite a pesky little libero back there, digging everything she can.
Point serve, Riverside.
Back to serve, Brittany Diffinet. Risco will hit it. It's blocked up at the net, dealt with by the Tigers. Montez gets to it. Board puts it over. It's over on the second touch. And a good kill by Risco. Jessica Adhow, the setter for the Rustlers, able to find Risco on the far side there.
And that was put away well. Nobody on Riverside could get to that ball.
So here's Lombino to serve for the Rustlers, sitting on a 2-point lead early in game 1. Good block up at the net. My goodness. Board and Givens, Board and Savage able to get up to that one.
And that's a 2-player block. Both sides have shown that that's the block they want to use. Very often, if you've got a large person in the middle, you'll put a 3-player block up there.
Lombino again with the dig. Tigers come up big, put a block up at the net. Players involved in that one: Aaron Cook, number 12, Lindsay Sappington, number 13. And it's Sappington who will step back and serve here for the Tigers. Montez, her first touch is over, and the Tigers looked a little confused on that play. Couldn't deal with it.
Well, it was a bad set on the Golden West side, set the ball over the net, and Riverside wasn't expecting it.
Here's Board to serve for the Rustlers. Board again comes in to dig. Montez, her kill is a bit far, and it's out of bounds.
That back line has not been good to Golden West tonight. That's 2 just long.
So 9-7, the Tigers trail. Circle the dig. Good play up at the net by Savage.
Good block.
Gets a double hit there. Point to the Tigers.
I promised the official we wouldn't say anything bad about him, so that must have been the right call.
Montez digs. Here's Risco. Her kill is blocked up at the net. Point to the Tigers. Pool within, I'm sorry, they tied it now at 9 here in game 1. So Robbie Circle still serves for the Tigers. Risco with a big kill.
Well played. Good set. Good spike. Point Golden West. Serve Golden West.
So after Risco kills, she'll step back to serve. It's over soft. And it's just out. Point to Golden West. Good play up the net again by Shavonda Savage. She listed 5'10", but what a leap she's got. Tigers gonna have to put this one over, and they do. Savage can't put up the block. Good kill by Amanda Villalpando.
And Riverside's playing back off the net a little bit on defense. Very effective that last time.
Gonna be over soft by the Rustlers. Savage tries to put up the block, but the kill is too strong for her. That ties it up at 11. Long serve by the Tigers. So just when they were about to gain some momentum, they turn it over on a long serve. And point to the Rustlers.
Looks like the Rustlers are going to make a substitution.
Savage comes out. Olivia Astunio.
A serving specialist rotates in to serve.
Long touch. Good heads-up play by Maritza Montez.
A new ball is put into play after every serve, and that is a dry ball. Officials give the old ball to the gentleman on the sideline, and they put a new ball in play every serve.
Miscue there by Villalpando. Her first touch, an errant one, gives the point back to the Rustlers, sitting now on a 3-point lead. Here's Villalpando. She's blocked up at the net, kept alive. Risco will deal with it.
This has to go over. Third hit. There you go.
Montez puts it over. Tigers have a tough time dealing with it. Risco can't get down quick enough. Good kill there by Shavana Brazil for the Tigers. Cut the lead to within 2 here, 14-12 in game 1.
Nice soft serve.
Lombino had a strange first touch there. Rustlers keep it alive.
Officials called double hit, timeout. Golden West.
Well, we mentioned the officials here. Earl Varquez is the up official, Gil Estrada, the down official, and of course the 2 corner gentlemen in the flags who may be caught texting during the match are volunteers from Golden West College. So first time out here called by Golden West, sitting on a 1-point lead. However, I'm sure Bill Uller probably expected a little bit more. There's been some sloppy play here defensively.
And both teams have been a little bit unorganized on some of the balls so far early in the match. These matches always take at least an hour to play the 3 sets. When you go 4 or 5, we could be here for quite a while. Let's hope that doesn't occur. Golden West ready. Riverside coming out.
Golden West rather proficient in winning sets. However, as Coach Lawler mentioned to me earlier, that Riverside puts up a good fight. They score at least 20 points in most all of their sets. Miscue there by Risco.
Poorly played ball. Point Riverside, tied at 14.
And it's Brazil to serve for the Tigers. Risco much better this turn. Here's Montez. Big kill, and it looks out. It is. So the Tigers take the first lead.
First lead of the game.
15-14 here. Brazil holding on to the serve. Risco has to dive for it, and she can't bring it up far enough for Kayla Morrell to deal with it.
And that timeout hasn't helped the Rustlers very much. They've given up 2 poorly played balls since the timeout.
Brazil's service is long. Good heads-up play there by Lombino to let that one ride. So it'll be Faith Alliston. Powerful serve, just over the net. That kill looks long, and it is. So the Rustlers tie it up again here at 16. Off of Alliston's service here. Alliston comes to us from Valley Christian High School out of Long Beach, California. Her serve looks in.
It's in.
It was. What an ace. Our first of the game.
I'm sure the coach would rather have the player play those close ones. You're just as apt to guess wrong as you are to guess right. It's easier to play it.
So the Rustlers retake the lead, 17-16.
The official calls one of the Riverside players was lined up in the wrong spot. Doesn't really indicate which one.
A lot of pointing going on by the officials.
There are very specific rules about where players can and cannot be on the receiving side. They must maintain the rotation that they report at the beginning of the contest. Apparently, somebody got out of rotation. Riverside coach is not arguing. She's just trying to get it straightened out.
Nonetheless, gives the Rustlers a point, sitting on 2-point lead here.
Good block.
Tigers put it over easily. Here's Montez, winds up, kills it off the arms of Brazil. The Rustler point. What a powerful kill Montez has there.
Yeah, it was almost a face plant. It was a great kill. Timeout Riverside.
So timeout Riverside. They look like they were getting some momentum there right after their timeout. However, it's the Rustlers who have responded and are now up by 3 here in game 1, 19-16.
And these timeouts are 1 minute. And in volleyball, everything is on the clock. So we know exactly when they're supposed to start back.
So a close match here so far in game 1. Just as we had kind of expected. However, Golden West seems to be edging out here.
Well,
as the game
momentum is a big factor in volleyball, maybe as much as in any other sport. You get hot, you get a couple lucky breaks, you're 5 goals, 5 points ahead. The other team can't catch up. And that short Riverside bench is really obvious when they've got 6 players on the floor and only, 4 on the sideline. They had a much larger roster about 2 weeks ago.
Some shots there of the relatively new Golden West Gymnasium. Lots of money went into this one. It's a beautiful facility now. Double hit there by Montez. Can only hit the ball once every time the ball goes over the net. So
officials in volleyball almost never talk. They blow the whistle and they point and they make hand gestures.
Big kill by Ali Board. Too much to handle for the Tigers.
On their Riverside's 0 for 2 on those close calls. That ball should have been bumped up.
So Montez here to serve, jump serve. Good block at the net. But the Tigers don't want to try it again. Here's Board, and her kill's too much to handle. Right into the arms of Paige Mueller, but she couldn't bring it up. So another timeout is called here by the Tigers as they look to stop the bleeding here early in game 1, trailing by 4.
Well, I watched Golden West play 2 weeks ago on a Friday night against Victor Valley. They defeated Victor Valley in 3 sets, but they didn't look as strong as they look tonight. Their kills tonight are showing the results of a lot of hard work and practice. That's good to see. You want to see your team grow and mature as the season goes along.
Gonna look there at Bill Lawler, just behind player number 8 there. He comes to us first year at Golden West, comes to us from Cal State LA, where he compiled a 710 winning percentage over 12 seasons, 274 wins, averaging 21 wins per year. He went undefeated in 2000, both the regular season and conference play. The first time that's happened in the state. That's impressive numbers there.
That is. Anytime you win more than 50% of your games, you're considered a pretty good coach. 70 plus, that's excellent. Also probably a pretty good recruiter.
So we're back to action here. Montez's serve getting things started, and the Rustlers board has to reach for that one, and she finds a hole there right in the middle of the Tigers' floor. So under Montez's serve here, Rustlers have now posted a 5-point lead here in game 1.
And we call that no man's land. In this case, no woman's land. Good kill.
Montez, known for her front line specialties, not so much for her back line. Couldn't get down quick enough.
Good kill. Riverside showed up. They're here to play.
Here's Brittany Diffinet to serve. The lefty right into Lombino. Adhow. Lombino keeps it alive. Here's Montez. And it's touched right at the net by Allie Board. May have been wiser for her to let that one go. She had support right behind her, but it's a tough reaction to let that go.
That knee-jerk reaction, it's hard to let it go.
Board has to reach for it. It's put over the net on the soft touch by Givens.
Lands out of bounds.
So Lawler calls timeout here as the Rustlers have given up a few points.
Want to get things under control. That's what those timeouts are for. You want to stop momentum or change momentum, and you've got timeouts. You just as well use them.
So heading into the home stretch here, 22-20, the Rustlers posting a slight advantage over the Tigers. Lawler doing lots of coaching there. He just wanted a few words. He's only going to take 30 seconds of his minute timeout.
Probably needs to remind them that 22 plus 3 is 25, and they need to get those 3. Get their concentration back right here on what's going on. Riverside with that short bench, they're going to take all that timeout time they can get. We're still early in the match, but fatigue will become a factor with only 4 reserves.
Tigers get us started again. Lombino digs. Adhow. Risco. She's blocked at the net. Risco again. Blocked at the net again. Down for a Tigers point. Risco having some trouble finding a gap there between the blockers of Riverside.
Well, and every volleyball team in the world practices that 2- and 3-player block every day.
Adhow to board. Achilles dig. Good save there. Put it over soft from Jessica Adhow. Kill into the net and down for Rustlers point. So they finally grab another point here, 23-21.
You got to stop that bleeding and take control.
Lombino, defensive specialist or libero for the Rustlers. Tigers put it over easily. Oh, heads up play there by Aaron Cook.
Poor set over the net and killed.
Aaron Cook with a heads up play for the Tigers. Brings the game within 1.
They change that ball. They do it every time. Anytime there may be a little moisture on the ball, they make a change.
Sappington with the jump serve for the Tigers. Adhow. Good kill there by Board.
Into the net.
Sappington couldn't put that one over from deep within her own court. Tigers tend to be hitting them from farther away from the net than we're used to seeing here.
Yeah, that would have been a good one to lob over. She tried to kill and didn't get it up above the net.
Diffiné, the setter, can't set up her team well enough.
Game 1.
Goes to the Rustlers, 25-22. So the Rustlers take game 1 here. They dropped game 1 of OCC to this exact score, 25-22. They were on the losing end. However, came back to win it in 3 straight sets. So a good start here for the Rustlers to take game 1 and hopefully build some momentum.
And they started out a little shaky, settled down and did all right.
All right, good game 1. Rustlers take it. We'll take a quick break ourselves and come back for game 2 right after this.
I want to be a nurse. I want to be an architect. I want to be a police officer.
With the workforce changing every day, going to college is more important than ever before. Financial aid is available. Visit gwc.info. Follow your dreams. We'll help you get there.
There's something about this place. It just gets better and better.
Every day, California goes to work. And thanks to its system of more than 100 community colleges all across the state, every day, California becomes a better place to live. California Community Colleges, the way California works.
It just gets better and better.
I think I'll hold on to my CD account short term, maybe acquire some high-yield bonds. I could roll over my 401k plan. What do you think?
Find out what you need to know to survive. Call or visit our website.
Yeah, good idea.
All right, it is 25-22 at the end of the first set, and Maritza Montez gave us a great start with the first point of the game. She had 14 kills last game, and also Mary Lambino gave us a lot of great digs, so we're looking to both of them to kind of carry us through the next couple of sets.
Thank you, Opal. So a strong start here for the Lady Rustlers. Taking game 1, 25-22. Looking to carry some momentum here into game 2.
Set number 1. Golden West.
Teams switch sides and they are getting ready to start here, just waiting for the officials. And it's the defensive specialist Robbie Circle to get us started here by the Tigers. Game 2.
And the player on each side that wears the different colored shirt is called the libero, and they are defensive specialists. They serve and set. They cannot go to the net and kill. Every team has a libero. They do not have to be on the court all the time.
They are exempt from the strict substitution rules that other players are held to. Set behind by Kayla Morel. Morel touches it. Risco, and it's Montez who will put it over. Finds a hole and is able to put it over on an unexpected point. But the Rustlers up 2-0 here.
The Rustlers were scrambling a little bit and came up with the golden egg.
Good blocking at the net. Montez and Katie Gibbons.
A good 2-player block. That's what you practice. That's what you like to see.
Shavanda Savage from Bellflower High School. Strong serve. She'll set it. Montez. Kill. Close to me, but it's ruled out of bounds by
hit
the
long.
linesman.
I wasn't sure it didn't get tipped at the net, but the officials are right there, and they said no.
So the Tigers able to get their first point here in game 2, trailing 3-1. It's Kaylin Ragsdale. Risco handles it. Good block. Killed from deep. Morel gets a hand to it, but it's out of bounds, and point 2 to the Tigers. Good rally there by both teams with some good kills and good digs on both sides of the court.
Any ball that goes up to the roof and rebounds is in play. Everything is in play in the building.
Montez kill, powerful. Too hot to handle there for Savannah Brazil. And that's Montez's kill that brings a serve back to the Rustlers. They'll go to Faith Alliston, who had a strong serving spell in the first game and the only ace so far in the contest. And hers is too difficult to handle there.
We'll call that number 2 aces. She served it and it was poorly played.
Dorothy Catanese can't handle it. And it's 5-2 Rustlers. Alliston, again a strong serve. Double block at the net. And the Tigers can't recover. Allie Board getting in on that blocking action.
You practice specific plays like that 2-player block, but an awful lot of volleyball becomes freelance when the play isn't working just right. That 2-player block worked perfectly.
Lombino gets to it. Risco with the kill from deep in her own territory. Soft touch there by the Tigers, and Lombino with a valiant effort.
Good play, though. That ball was played right in no person's land.
Catanese to serve for the Tigers, trailing by 3 in game 2. Lombino, Adhow, Montez. It's a good combination. Doesn't produce anything this time. And Board will have to put it over, and she puts it out. That's Lara there. She puts it over and out.
And that looked almost like a throw to begin with, but it wasn't called, but she did hit it out of bounds.
Catanese again to serve. Serve looked long. Lombino let it go, and it bounced in. So an ace to the Tigers.
Once again, I think the coach would much prefer they play that close one.
Catanese on a serving spell here. Risco handles Adhow. Board. Her kill is touched the net, and the Tigers can't recover. And that'll stop the bleeding there for the Rustlers as they regain the serve. Montez back to serve for Golden West.
Miss Montez is a 6-foot sophomore out of Downey High School.
Heads up play there by the setter. Brittany Diffinet put it over on the second touch. Fooled the Rustlers. Here's Fayal Pondo. Adhow to Board. Dealt with comfortably by the Tigers. Lombino to Adhow. Board again. Again it's dug. The over soft. Risco gets the first touch. Adhow finds Board yet again. She tries to go over soft, but it's blocking at the net. Puts it back over.
Good defense. That soft serve is like a changeup. They played it well.
So after the extended rally, the Tigers tie it up at 7. Board's big kill is blocked at the net. Risco gets a turn, and her block falls in her favor. As the Rustlers regain the lead here, 8-7. And Lombino will be back to serve for the Lady Rustlers. Long serve dealt with by the Tigers. Big windup there.
Has to go over. There you go.
Lombino puts it over. Looks long, but Montez deals with it. Here's Board. Her attempt is blocked at the net. Good dig there. Lombino gets down well. Adhow to Board.
Good rally.
Board's kills too long.
Touched at the net. I believe the officials are calling a touch.
Riverside can't believe it was right in front of them. They were already celebrating the point.
In volleyball, you'll see the captain talk to the official, not the coach. Captains are allowed to ask questions.
And the umpire would like to have a word with his line judge here.
This highly paid assistant may change that call. I believe it was touched at the net, and I think it was the correct call. Coaches are having a discussion. First year and a second year coach, they're going to speak up.
And that kill long from the Tigers, so some luck goes Golden West way. They're sitting on a 3-point lead. Over to the surprise of Golden West, so they're calling that a lift here against the Tigers, so point to Golden West.
Well, and the Riverside coach may be getting a little heated, although she doesn't look like it. 2 calls in a short span that didn't go her way.
Set there by Diffiné. Board puts it over easily.
It's in play, couldn't get it over.
Point to the Tigers. Monica Hayes, trainer, the coach for Riverside, questioning the referee's call there, asking her to call him for both teams because she thought that looked like a lift there against the Rustlers, but nonetheless, the Tigers get the point, bring it within 3. And that kill right into the net by Shavonda Savage. It was difficultly to deal with. Adhow had trouble dealing with it. Sort of a low dig that went her way. Did the best she could, but Savage couldn't put it over. Risco, Adhow. Here's Board. Diffiné sets up.
Well played.
Good kill by Ragsdale. Diffiné finding her killers all over the court. And that'll be Brittany Diffiné to serve here. Montez gets the first touch for the Rustlers. Board gets a kill. It's blocked at the net and out of bounds. Point to the Rustlers.
At this stage of game 1, we were tied at 11. Game 2, Golden West leads 12-10.
Allie Board out of Redwood City, Notre Dame High School. Diffiné sets behind her. And it's Ragsdale again who comes up with the kill. So Diffiné, it's a very athletic and a very tough set there to set it behind you.
And you catch the defensive team by surprise when the ball goes back that way.
Well, to Risco who gets a hold of it, but it's saved by the Tigers. Lombino. Morel kept alive again by the Tigers. Savage with a heads-up play puts it right back down into Tigers territory.
Good short rally. Point Golden West.
Golden West holding on to a 2-point lead here in the middle of game 2. Good kill there. That was definitely in. I'm sorry, Miss Lombino. From this angle, we can tell. And point to the Tigers.
Game 2, set 2, pretty close, 13-12.
Circle to serve. It's off the net. Lombino makes a good effort for it. Risco does another dive after the kill, but it's the Tigers who come up with the point and tie it at 13. So Circle with her second serve to Lombino. Miscommunication there. Lombino's gonna have to put it over.
Good job.
Barely gets there. Lombino can't get down quick enough. Can't fill the hole. And for the first time in game 2, the Tigers take the lead, 14-13.
And Riverside's playing very well. They're well organized. 3 hits and a kill.
Savage gets it over.
Until that one.
And Circle can't bring it up. So Tigers were sitting on a 1-point lead, but the Rustlers quickly retook that lead, or pardon me, tied. And now Savage will make the game. So pardon for the technical difficulties here. Risco. Good block at the net by the Rustlers. And that was difficult to deal with there. Faith Alliston put her second touch in pretty much no man's land. That was
sit right at the net.
Impossible to put over. So the Tigers retake the lead, 15-14. What a serve by Ragsdale. Risco can't handle it. It's off her arms and out of bounds.
That ball comes over like a knuckleball sometimes. That looked like one of those serves.
Ragsdale again to serve for the Tigers. Risco gets a hold of it this time. Good kill by Alliston, but it's kept alive by the Tigers. Risco puts up the big save. Lombino with the second touch. And it's over by Givens. Not the strongest touch from Kayla Morrell, but she did what she could, got a hand to it. And the other roster's a little slow to respond. And the Tigers are on a little bit of a run here, extending their lead to 3.
And they've maintained their poise. They were behind, they caught up, and now they're ahead, and they're playing very consistently.
Ragsdale. Risco has trouble again with it.
Another miss hit.
Well, Ragsdale putting together a good strong serves here. And the Rustler back line is having some difficulty dealing with it. Bill Lawler wants to have a little conversation with his team. He calls timeout. This is the largest deficit they faced all night. 4 points here in game 2. They still have the luxury of taking game 1.
And it's a combination of not real solid play on the Rustler side and Riverside just remaining consistent. Most balls are over in 3. The serve is set, blocked, set, and then killed. And Riverside is stuck to that formula. And the Rustlers have made a couple mistakes in game number 2.
A little bit of miscommunication, perhaps, not responding quick enough to some miscues.
It's interesting in game number 1, Riverside stayed in that huddle every second. Now they're ahead, they've got a little momentum, a little juice is flowing. They were out and ready to go with about 15 seconds left on the clock.
Practically challenging these Lady Rustlers to come out and face them. And it's Ragsdale who will keep the service here for the Tigers. This one looks long, and it is. So after a few good serves, a good timeout is called.
Yes, and that won the distance. That's ahead in distance for tonight. That was a long serve.
Sort of iced the server there, Ragsdale. A substitution here for Golden West. Alliston makes way. Athow, the setter, comes back in. Athow to serve. Blocked at the net. Montez didn't get a hold of it well enough, and it's point to the Tigers, who maintain the 4-point lead here. And Catanese to serve for the Tigers, but we'll have to take a timeout yet again. So Lawler not very happy with the way his Lady Rustlers are playing here in game 2. Some things he wants to fix.
We can't hear what he's saying, but when you call 2 timeouts that close together in any sport, the players obviously didn't go out and do what he had asked them to do or told them to do. So he wanted to regroup, get together again, remind them again of what he wants. These games go to 25. You have to win by 2, and Riverside has built a nice little lead for themselves in game number 2. We'll see if that timeout brings some fruit.
The last timeout iced the server, Ragsdale. Let's see if Catanese can respond. It's a good serve. Lombino gets to it. Athow. Board finds a good hole. Catanese can't get down quick enough for the Tigers. So the Rustlers cut into that 4-point lead, chipping away. 16-19 they trail. Montez. Soft touch there. Over with 2 hands. Athow to board. Blocked the net and out of bounds. 2 points in a row here to the Rustlers. Under the service of Maritza Montez. She's got a pretty powerful serve.
We'll see if she can stay on this run.
Devaney. And Montez does the splits, can't get down quick enough. stops the momentum there. Tigers reestablished a 3-point lead here, just 5 points shy of taking game 2. Service from Valle Pondo. Athow to Risco. Touch the net. Tigers keep it alive. Athow again to Board. Blocked at the net. Athow was able to keep it alive. Risco puts it over. Lombino keeps it alive. Athow to Board. Easily dealt with. Oh, miscue there by the Tigers. Aaron Cook couldn't put it over.
She ran out of hang time. Had the right idea, jumped a little bit too soon.
So good rally, but it goes Golden West's way. Now trailing by 2 here. Diffene. Lombino digs. Athow to set. Board again. These two are turning into a good combination there. And
good kill right down the middle.
Tigers find a good hole there. Just short of Montez, whose 6-foot frame couldn't get down. Point to the Tigers. So the referee's in a little bit of discussion.
Referee signals serve on.
Tigers sitting on a 3-point lead here. Risco with a big dig.
Bad set.
That's much better from Aaron Cook. Her last attempt similar to that she put on her own side. This one is over the net and point to the Tigers, who are now just 3 points away from taking game 2 and tying it up 1 game apiece. Diffene, the setter, serves. Athow to Risco on the near side. Touch at the net. Catanese keeps it alive. Savage. With the fake. Risco puts it over. It's touched twice there, look like, by the Tigers. Nonetheless, point goes to the Rustlers. We need all the points they can get right now. They need to go on a bit of a run.
Game 2, Riverside's in pretty good shape right now.
Need good blocking here from the Rustlers, and they get it. But it's blocked out of bounds.
Right idea. Bad trajectory on the block. Ball went out of bounds.
So difficult to control the block and keep it in bounds. It's hard enough to get up there and get to it, let alone control where it goes. But nonetheless, Tigers need just 2 points here. Savage, her kill has touched the net. Cook can't control it.
Important point. Brings it within 3.
So Risco out of Douglas High School all the way in Gardenville, Nevada. Soft touch there, puts it over. It's Alliston to kill for the Rustlers. Good block.
Good
Savage
block.
gets to it. Aaron play.
Still in play. Good
Tigers
play.
get to it.
Good play.
Savage. What a play there by the Tigers. Didn't think they were going to get it over. Montez finally kills it.
That was a great rally.
It was indeed. Athletic skill on display from both sides of the net.
Well, you hate to lose a rally like that. Both sides played the ball very well.
Savannah Brazil did well to get that one over for the Tigers, number 10. Risco gets down well. Blocked net. Tigers can't keep it alive. Still going at it, but it's double touch.
Got it over on the 7th hit. Good comeback so far. Doesn't mean a thing till you get all the way to 25. First team to 25 must lead by 2 when they get there.
So if the Rustlers are able to hold the Tigers, they will take game 2. However, they right now trail by 22-23. They go on a 3-point streak. It's all theirs.
And they dug a little hole for themselves, but they didn't jump in. Came back now within 1 point. And Golden West will have the serve.
So the first time out of game 2 called by Riverside here. They're looking to hang on to this very skim lead that they've got. We've had some exciting rallies here in game 2. Said some unexpected play, some athletic play, and some unexpected balls going over the net when it looked like all was lost.
And one of the best rallies I've seen this year. Both squads did a great job. Golden West was fortunate to win the point, and have come back to within one, 23-22.
So Hayes Trainer taking all the minute and then some there during that timeout. However, it's Alex Risco to serve for the Rustlers. Important set of points here for both squads. Good block the net by Savage. Lombino. Montez barely gets a hold of it. It's touched at the net.
Net ball worked in Golden West favor that trip.
So sort of a soft kill, not what we're used to seeing Maritza Montez put together. However, it's good enough for the point to tie it at 23. And it's anybody's game now. Catanese hits Diffiné. Catanese again. Touched at the net. Point to the Tigers. A game point here for Riverside. And they'll send in their libero, Robbie Circle, to serve. She's had some success with her serve earlier. Lombino. This one will go to Morel. Well, Circle digs. Risco, it's right at the net. It's going to be difficult to deal with. Point to the Tigers. They take game 2. Close margin, 25-23. So we're split 1 apiece. We'll take a quick break. Be back for the tiebreaker game 3 right after this.
If I could reach the stars, pour one down for you, shine it on your heart, so you could see the truth, that I could change the world. I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would think my love was really something good. If I could, I'd change the world. If I could, I'd change the world.
Hey guys, what a great comeback by the Rustlers, but unfortunately they couldn't wrap it up. Great job by Amanda Vilpato, as she pretty much dominated that set, right? And as for our wrestlers, Alex Risco and Maritza Montez played a great game, but they need to clean up their digs. Just wasn't there that set. That's it, guys.
Thank you, Victor. So, thank you, Victor. And after 2 games, it's 1 apiece here. Golden West, as you mentioned, Victor, coming close there at the end of game 2. However, they just weren't able to sustain that drive.
I suggested before the contest we were going to look at 4 or 5 games tonight. We always like it to be over in 3. Not tonight. The Riverside team rallied to play a very solid game in game number 2. I had thought perhaps some fatigue might enter in as we got further into the match. Game number 3, we'll see how that plays out. But Riverside played very solid, and the Golden West team played a little bit loose in game number 2. Still, it was close. Final score, Golden West 23, Riverside 25.
So it'll be interesting to see how the Lady Rustlers respond here.
Well, and they're ready, and Riverside is doing some coaching.
Riverside taking all the time they can here to come out for game 3. They were quite excited after game 2 having taken it.
Well, they should be. They played very solid, came back very well, got control, and wouldn't relinquish. Golden West came back, but couldn't close it out. Game 3, set 3 about to begin.
Riverside taking game 2 by the closest of margins, just a 2-point victory.
And Riverside has a sort of a short squad, and the trainer's working on one of their players right now. And she comes out to play. It looks like she put a little tape on her shoes. Got to hold them together.
So we're underway here in game 3. And that one's out of bounds. If it hits that pole that you see there, that red and white pole right by the officials, that is considered out of bounds.
And volleyball has some very strict rules. There's no question about it. That pole wiggles, it's a dead ball.
Good find there by the Tigers. At how it come to the net, left the back line wide open.
Now, this young Riverside team shows a lot of savvy. They play the ball extremely well.
Dig there by Lombino. Reaching over, but it's good point to the Tigers. That's a little bit of a surprise for me.
I think Golden West hit the net.
Lombino digs. Four hits there by the Rustlers. Point goes to the Tigers, who are jumping out to an early lead here in game 3, 3-1. Back to serve for the Tigers. Ragsdale. Kill is out. Didn't look like they were officials.
Officials indicating a tip.
And that point goes to the Tigers after a little bit of debate. Landed out of bounds, however, they weren't sure whether or not the Rustlers had touched it.
I think it was tipped at the net. It was awfully close. The official's right there.
So 4-1. Powerful serve there by Kaylin Ragsdale.
Thank you, Kaylin. That's 2. She's going to win the long hit award.
She certainly gets a hold of her serves there. That one going deep, and it's Maritza Montez here to serve for the Rustlers. Trailing by 2 here in game 3. Catanese tries some trickery. Rustlers keep it alive. Lands on the Tiger side of the net. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, but that's not how you practice, but that's how it works out sometimes. 2 hits in a row. We're not exactly the way the coaches planned it, but there's a lot of freelance when that ball gets out of sync.
So Katie Gibbons gets a rest. Victoria Polo makes her way into the match. Strong serve again by Montez. Dealt with by the Tigers, not well enough. Put over on a one-armed underhand, and that goes out of bounds.
That's
so
not exactly the hit that the coach is looking for.
Ties it up here at 4. Montez's jump serve into the net.
It's a very powerful server. Every now and then those cannonballs will hit the net.
Turns momentum back to the Tigers here. Catanese back to serve. Her service into the net, so
thank you.
Trading points here.
Thank you.
Polo lets her brief stint in the game, and it's Savage who comes in. Lombino back to serve for the Rustlers. We're tied at 5. Define. Montez. Risco's going to have to put it over softly. Define. Strong hit, and it just falls in by Brazil. Savannah Brazil, outside hitter for the Tigers. Wears number 10 jersey. She's been strong all evening long. Montez with the dig. Risco with the kill.
Turnabout. That one just chips the line. Point Golden West.
Risco led the Rustlers last game. 17 kills. Pulled her weight so far this evening. Catanese puts it up.
Double hit. Riverside coach is doing some coaching, not upset with the official, just telling the player what she did wrong.
Good serve by Ford. Define tries to put it over. But it's a double hit by the Rustlers that time. Point goes to the Tigers. Ties it back up at 7. Another change here for both squads. As Allie Board takes a rest.
Now, these squads are pretty evenly matched. They both had some successes, lost very few games.
Kill by Savage.
Great play. Saved it.
Savage again kills it. However, it falls on her side of the net.
Got to get it all the way over.
Kayla Burrell doing some setting here for the Rustlers. Alliston.
Poorly played.
And we've got timeout call by Lawler. Well, looks a bit frustrated over there on the bench.
Well, game number 3 started out an awful lot like game number 2. Riverside's taking a slight lead, playing a little more consistent. Golden West needs to get back to the basics. Short timeout. I guess when you know what you're going to say, there's no need to take a whole lot of time to do it.
I got to imagine Lawler is just reminding his team, look, we've practiced this many times before. John, you and I have seen them practicing here on some of our off days. And they don't make those mistakes in practice, but it's a game situation. Something different entirely.
You got to convert that practice time to game activity.
Risco, her kills deflected at the net.
Good job.
To the Rustlers. Brings it back within 1, and Risco will step back to serve. Deep service there.
Kind of a late substitution on the Riverside side.
Morel gets to it. Here's Risco from deep within her own territory. Touched at the net by the Rustlers. Diffiné sets. Blocked at the net, but it goes out of bounds. Powerful kill there by Ragsdale. Too much for the blockers of Golden West to handle.
And Miss Ragsdale's been a force in this game, serving and blocking.
Back to serve here is Savannah Brazil with the jump serve. Finds a hole. Risco can't get down to it.
Nobody there in that middle area.
Took a sudden dive there. Savage stepped out of the way. She thought it was going deeper. Nonetheless, it gives the Tigers a 3-point lead. Similar serve, causing trouble for the Rustlers. Montez gets up big, blocked at the net. Tigers finding a way to get things done here in game 2.
And Riverside is showing signs of excellent coaching. They seem to be in the right place at the right time.
Bombino digs, Morel to Savage. Easily blocked by Aaron Cook.
Golden West is letting things get a little bit out of hand here in game number 3. Trailing by 5.
Short serve again. Rustlers keep it alive. Savage puts it over. Tigers do well to dig for the back line. Catanese over on the set. Looks long, but the Tigers play it anyway. Diffiné. 2 Tigers run into each other.
She went down pretty hard.
Catanese fell hard, had her shoe taken off.
Threw a shoe.
The hush falls over the crowd here. Savannah Brazil collided with Catanese.
I hope she's more embarrassed than hurt.
A little chuckle from Catanese.
I think that was the case. She's a little embarrassed. Made a great effort for the ball, slipped and fell right on her back. Fortunately, didn't seem to bang her head. We might have a replay of that while they're getting ready to serve.
Taking a look is Catanese.
She tripped over her own player's left leg, and that will happen when they're both going for the ball. Fortunately, she seems to be fine, maybe just a little embarrassed.
She'll get a chance to look at this when we send her the DVD in a few days, and I'm sure they'll get a chuckle out of it. Good serve, finds the corner there. Savage, just inside. Catanese let that one go, and Savage found a way to make that ball drop just inside the line. Let's see if she can repeat it. Tigers deal with this one. Blocked at the net, but out of bounds.
Tipped at the net. Point Riverside.
Alliston got her hands up, but couldn't put the block back over the net. And the Tigers keep a 4-point lead here. Here's Circle. Service grazes the net, stays alive. Montez swings. Easily dealt with Ragsdale.
Good block, just the way the coach practices.
Ragsdale, as you mentioned, John, causing problems defensively, offensively on the service. Long serve by Circle. And that kills a little bit of the momentum that the Tigers had put together off some excellent play, offensively and defensively. Strong serve by Alliston. Good block at the net by the Rustlers. Ball's tipping around. Risco digs it out. Montez swings.
Block out.
Killed.
Riverside's not going to make a whole lot of mistakes. Golden West, if they're going to be successful, is going to have to play better.
Strong serve, and it can't be dealt with. Faith Alliston knows how to swing that ball. She'll try it again here. She's cut the lead to only 2, and that one's into the net.
We see that so often.
She was trying so hard to repeat her first attempt. She put that one right into the net. Gives the ball back to Kaylin Ragsdale to serve for Riverside. Ragsdale with the jump serve. We've seen that a lot too.
Yes.
One serve into the net, and the other team turns around and gives it back.
Miss Ragsdale's been long twice, so she tried to reel it in just a bit and reel it in a bit too much. Golden West still trails by 2.
So Montez serves for the Rustlers. And a good kill there. Amanda Villalpando finds that hole right between the front and back lines.
Yeah, Riverside's made a living hitting that ball in that middle ground.
Cadanese. Montez deals with it. Risco the kill. Blocked down into Tiger territory. Point to the Rustlers. Mary Lombino out of Douglas High School, as we mentioned, from Gardnerville, Nevada.
Get down. Good serve.
Gonna have to come over. It's done freely. Savage, the kill is dealt with on the back line of the Tigers. She'll get another attempt. No, it goes to Risco. Savage keeps it alive. Heads up play.
2.
Montez digs it out. Morel's kill, touched the line.
Job.
Pardon me, that was Alliston.
Good job.
Killed the line, but falls onto the Rustlers, pardon me, the Tigers side of the court. And that cuts the lead to just within 1. Lombino keeps it alive. Risco's kill, touched and in. And that ties it up at 17 here.
Woo.
So the Rustlers making a go of it, keeping it an exciting game 3.
Good comeback to this point.
Lombino serves. Diffine sets. Flat
Good
one.
kill.
Too much to handle there. Strong kill by Amanda Villalpando.
Good kill. Very hard to block that kill.
Villalpando will step back to serve here. Soft. Dealt with by Montez. Risco. Touch at the net. Villalpando kept it alive. Lombino. Morel. And it's Risco's. Her kill is deflected.
Tipped at the net.
It was definitely long. I didn't see the tip. A point to the Rustlers to tie it up at 18.
Looked like it had been hit long, but the referee called the tip at the net.
So it's Kayla Morel.
Might have been out.
Diffine. Good kill, touch at the line, but Brazil's hit is too hot to handle.
Riverside just won't go away. They keep playing very well, very consistent.
On the flip side of that, the Rustlers are trying not to let the Tigers run away with it here. Morel gets
to
to
go
it.
over.
Montez finds a way on a surprising hit there. Don't expect that one to fall for a point. So it was a little sloppy defensive play by the Rustlers, and it had to go over. Montez will get credit for a kill there. Good block at the net, falls inside.
Good block.
Savage gets a piece of that one.
Important point. Good block, just inbounds.
So Risco, her service puts the Rustlers back in the lead here at 20. Oh, Lombino let that one go, and it falls in.
And right in front of the coach, he can't argue about that. He had a perfect view of it. Tied at 20, game 3.
Brazil serve. Lombino deals with it. Heads up play by Aaron Cook for the Tigers. Puts it over. And the Rustlers will call timeout here. Lawler says, team, come here quickly. I need some words.
Each time they've fallen behind, Riverside since game 1 has found the ability to rally back. They've taken a 1-point lead in game number 3. Games tied 1 apiece. Best 3 out of 5. 2:25, you must win by 2. Game 5, if necessary, to 15.
I have to assume here that whoever takes game 2 is gonna, or game 3, pardon me, is gonna gather a lot of momentum heading into the 4th game.
Well, and we very often see 3-set matches, but tonight that's out the window.
Brazil serves. Savage digs it. This is going over to Montez. And it's off the arms of Brittany Diffinet, the setter for the Tigers. We're tied again at 21.
And Miss Montez has been quiet for a while, but when she starts swinging, that ball hits the floor.
Savage steps out. Olivia Astunio, defensive specialist, comes in. Blocked at the net, but falls into Rustler territory.
Good kill. The block knocked the ball out of bounds.
Circle back to serve for the Tigers. They're sitting on a 1-point lead, just 3 points shy of taking game 3. Montez digs. Comes to Montez again. Blocked.
That's it.
Easily finds the hole.
That's
Ties
it.
it up, 22.
That's the play we want. Miss Montez with the kill.
Faith Alliston, she's had some success serving. Strong one, dealt with by the Tigers back line. Risco gets down to it. Morel. Montez touched the line.
Riverside point. I was not deflected at the net. We were kind of hoping it was. Was not deflected. Officials right there.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one, John, but it looked pretty close from up here.
Well, we see it with our Rustler eyes.
I suppose so, but a 23-22 lead here for the Tigers. Heavy touch. Ooh, quick play there. Still at the net, bobbled
in
around.
Play.
Falls to the Tigers, who are now on game point in game 3.
Crucial point. Riverside found a way to get it.
Service by the Tigers. Lombino, Morel, Montez. Diffinet sets. Catanese blocked and out. Tigers take game 3, 25-22. So we've had some similar score lines here. Very close games. It's one of the closest we've had. We'll take a quick break. Right after this, Rustlers need to respond.
Rescuer in the dark. defenders of the homeland. We are the shield of freedom. We are the United States Coast Guard.
Heed your country's call. Join the Coast Guard or Coast Guard Reserve, the shield of freedom.
Well, tonight's match reminded me of two prize fighters slugging it out until the 10th round. It was a very even match, and it went back and forth all night. It reminded me, and it appears that Golden West and Riverside College are two very evenly matched teams. But in the end, however, Riverside College, led by Amanda Villalpanato, pulled it out. Riverside College can finally say that they have beaten Golden West College. Back up to you.
That's correct. Riverside, thank you, Michael. Riverside has never beaten Golden West in women's volleyball. Over all these years of Orange Empire Conference play, some 50 games, they are over. They've got a goose egg still in the win category.
Well, in tonight's contest, they're up 2-1. Game number 4, again, will go to 25. First team to 25 must lead by 2. If Riverside wins, they break that long string. If the Rustlers win, we go to a 15-point game 5. I've got nothing else to do tonight. I would just as soon see 5 games.
I did speak to Coach Lawler before the contest, and he said, you know, don't discredit this Riverside team. They're very strong. I pointed out that statistic to him. I said, you know, history's on your side. He said history means nothing when it comes to each and every game.
He's absolutely right. If we always knew who was going to win, there'd be no need to play. We tell people over and over, that's why you play the game. Riverside has been the most consistent team. Game 1, they were a little disorganized. Games 2 and 3, they played more consistently and returned lots of balls that in similar circumstances, the Rustlers did not return. Game 4, about to begin.
And it will begin by the service of the libero for Riverside, number 4, Robbie Circle. All we need is the ball.
The officials check the rotation at the beginning of every game, and somebody at the bench checks the rotation during the game.
And we've got the referee's approval. Game 4 underway. Boards hit, blocked at the line. Risco gets to it. Not the best serve, but Montez puts it over. Risco gets to it.
This one has to go over.
Risco will put it over. Gives the Tigers a good opportunity, and they take advantage of it.
They've scored a bundle of points in that little area called no man's land. Just behind the front line, just in front of the back line.
Villalpando uses her height with the slightest touch to put it over. Board! Runs into a board there at the line there. Her kill
good
stuffed
block.
Right back into her face.
Good block.
So Circle will serve again. Savage finally grabs a point here for the Rustlers in game 4. That'll be Maritza Montez back to serve for the Lady Rustlers, trailing by 1 here early in game 4, but trailing 2-1. Catanese gets to it. Diffiné. Brazil, it's kept alive. Morel. Risco puts it over. Miscue by the Tigers. Diffiné was on a different wavelength than her hitters, and Catanese couldn't get to it.
Yeah, she jumped a little soon. The ball went over her hand.
Hit right into the Tigers bench. That's difficult to deal with.
Thank you. They haven't mishit the ball in 2 games. It's about time to see one.
So Montez's service doing it for the Lady Rustlers so far. And the Tigers in a little bit of a self-destruct mode right now.
And we speculated early that perhaps a short bench might be a factor. To this point, Riverside has shown no problems with fatigue. They played extremely well. Good block.
Savage puts up the block. It goes out, so a few unanswered points here for the Lady Rustlers under Montez's service. They lead by 3.
This little rally is due to good play on the Golden West squad side. Not any letdown by Riverside.
Risco puts it over. Good save there by Morel, but it doesn't go over.
Sometimes a ball just like that, when it's hit so close to the net, there's just nothing you can do with it.
It's very difficult to judge where that ball is going to fall. Should they touch it? Should they not? That one falls on Golden West side of the court. It's just long there. The jump serve by Ragsdale.
Well, Miss Ragsdale has been a big factor in this contest, but her serving has not been spectacular.
Savage's serve.
Good swing. Got to go over.
Risco puts it over. It's good block at the net by the Tigers. Here's Board. Block at the net again. Savage gets to it. Morel.
Double hit. We've seen a couple of those called tonight. There's been lots of nights we see no double hits.
Catanese. A little miscommunication there by the Lady Rustlers. Risco's going to have to
go
put it
over. That's a long way to hit the ball.
Lombino and Montez both went for it, and neither of them got to it very easily. And meanwhile, the Tigers have cut the lead to just 1. Catanese hits it over. Risco with the kill. Lombino keeps it alive. Risco does well. Montez puts it over. Good recovery by the Rustlers. Well, that's a good kill. Lombino keeps it alive. Montez puts it over. Heads up play again. Diffiné has pulled that trick quite a few times tonight. Puts it over on the set when the Rustler defense is suspecting her just to set it to a teammate.
And Riverside has been very consistent.
Lombino, Morel, there's Risco. Good kill, what a hole. Catanese made the dive but couldn't get to it. And the Rustlers retake the lead here, 7-6.
Good play wins points.
Here's Board to serve. Diffiné, Lombino there is about to hit it. Get my defensive specialists mixed up from team to team, but it's the Rustlers who come away with it. Here's Board. Diffiné the set. Good block at the line. Katie Gibbons out of Palm Springs High School. Maintained service here for Allie Board.
Kate is a 5'11" freshman, middle blocker, did a great job with that one.
Lombino, Morel, Risco gets to it, finds a hole in the back line. Right past Robbie Circle.
Well, that's how to win points. Play well, play the way you practice.
And good hard hits coming from, so miscue there on the serve by Ali Board, but good hard hits from Risco, Montez, and Board here in game 3.
And the level of play in game 4 is much higher than it was in game 1.
Risco digs. Board hits it from deep. Diffiné. Brazil puts it over. Rustlers are able to dig it out. Risco's hit. Blocked at the line.
Out.
That was close. That was certainly close, but it goes in the Rustlers' favor. 11-7. And it's Risco back to serve. Do or die situation here in game 4. Rustlers must win it to push it to 5 games. Diffiné
has
with
to go over.
Strange set.
Well done.
Kill by Montez, dealt with by the back line. Over, right into that hole.
No man's land. Don't take offense. It's called no man's land.
Amanda Villalpando knows how to find it. But it's Brittany Diffiné to serve for the Tigers. To Risco. Morel. Montez blocked at the line. Morel. Tough set
Call
there.
to throw. Oh, called the net. Double hit. Take your choice. Golden West wins the point.
Be Mary Lombino with the service. Tiffany sets. Again, they attempt that short hit, but the Rustlers savvy to it this time. Hits the net and goes out. So Risco can't control that kill. Still sitting on a 3-point lead. Rustlers, however, they need to maintain a few points momentum here. Risco gets to it. Morel, Savage.
Good
Savage
block.
blocks. Morel tries to block, and Risco dives, can't get to it. Point to the Tigers. Cut the lead to 2.
Riverside just keeps coming back.
Brazil's service, Risco deals. Morel over on the second touch, doesn't fool the Tigers. Risco. And infraction called there, looked like at the net. Point to the Tigers, who have now cut the lead within 1. So just as the Rustlers look like they might run away with it here in game 4, Tigers
come
tell them to
clawing
think
back.
twice.
There you go.
Savage does well. That's a textbook play there.
Cannot expect the other team to lose it. You got to win it.
Ace.
Down and good.
Good service there by Kayla Morel.
And almost every time either side has let that ball go, it's been a good point.
Morel has a good service again. Blocked at the net. Timeout is called by the Tigers. They are trailing by 4 here in game 4. However, Riverside still sitting on a 2-1 game lead.
And this is obviously a crucial game for Golden West. They are playing a little better. Games 2 and 3, they seem to let down a little bit, and Riverside just kept on coming on. Riverside, this game, has made a few mistakes, but Golden West is just playing better.
It seems to be whoever makes the least amount of mistakes comes away with the game.
Yep, that's pretty true in every sport. That's pretty true in every sport. Certainly true in volleyball, where you've got so much area to cover. We see so many balls hit the floor in that middle area on both sides. It's just almost impossible to cover the entire court. Good play is rewarded by points. Here we go.
Rustlers look poised, ready to go here. They're lined up.
Well, they're playing with a little more resolve in this game than they did for the middle 2 games.
This is Kayla Morel to serve. She comes to us from Sierra High School in Manteca. Catanese. Lombino tries to dig it, but that one's out into the crowd. Powerful hit by Catanese.
Puts it into the 4th row of the bleachers. Nobody there.
So circle now to serve for the Tigers. Lombino. Morel. Touched at the net there by the Tigers. Montez. Lombino keeps it alive.
Amazing.
Montez, it's over, but that's out.
There were 3 bad hits on both sides, and the ball was in play. That could have been a point several hits ago.
Tigers cut the lead to 2. Lombino. Morel. Forward. Touched at the line. Keeps it alive in the back line there. Risco gets down and digs well.
Has to go over.
Montez. Not her greatest kill. And it's again up and over that blocking line. Savage makes the big jump.
A Riverside soft hit. That's been very successful for them tonight. They now trail by 1.
Circle again to serve. Risco. Morel. That one was going Riverside's way sooner or later. With a little,
poorly played at the net.
and just like that, the Tigers have tied it up at 15. Lombino digs, it's long. That's an easy kill, sitting high there for Catanese. The Tigers take the lead here. I believe the first time here in game 4. Coach Lawler asking for some substitutions. Lombino takes a rest. Givens enters into the match. No, pardon me. Change again. That's Ostunio.
Little defensive change. Try to stop the bleeding.
Big kill by Board. Tiger back line just can't deal with anything there.
That makes it a little easier. Set it and kill it.
One of the best kills from Board all night long. She really got a hold of that one. It gives the service to Montez. Tough to deal with. Ostunio can't get down quick enough.
Yeah, right down the middle. That's been a very effective spot for kills for Riverside tonight.
So 1 point game here, 17-16. Bagsdale's service. Risco, her kill is blocked at the net over to the Rustlers. Risco will get another attempt. She goes for the soft attempt, and it's successful now for the Golden West Rustlers for one of the few times tonight.
Well, interesting contest, tied at 17. Game number 4, Riverside leads 2-1. First team to win 3 wins the match.
Adhal, the setter, back to serve. Good play at the net.
Ball was set too far, set to the Golden West side and blocked to the floor for the point.
Rustlers retake the lead here by 1. Looks long, and it is. Riverside bench asking for a tip at the net. Referees don't give it to him.
Little suggestion of momentum swing. 2 points in a row.
Adhal continues to serve.
Good
Blocked
block.
net, and it's too
Good
tough
block.
to deal with. Givens got in the action there. Put up a good block. It's now a 3-point lead for the Rustlers.
When that ball comes off the blocker's hands, it can either go, it'll go any direction depending upon which direction their hands are faced. That time it was into the court.
Good
Still
dig
in
there
play.
by Adhal.
Got to go over. Oh,
Montez
got to
doesn't
go
get a hold of
over.
it.
Just hitting it to the net doesn't work. You got to hit it over.
Good play there by the defense to keep that one alive. However, Montez came up a little short. Catanese to serve. Montez will dig. Morel. Board puts up a big hit, but it's dealt with by Circle.
Has to go over.
And it does not go in. Goes over. Shouldn't say over.
To the bench. Well,
wide.
it went by above the net, but on the outside. Point Golden West.
Board. Serves. Poorly dealt with.
Thank you.
By Paige Mueller.
That ball again comes over like a knuckleball every now and then, and it takes a funny turn, and that one was blocked right into the ground. Timeout, Riverside.
Holly Board with a strong service. She's put together some very strong kills. It's no surprise that she can serve as well as she does. Over Paige Mueller with a defensive mistake there. Puts the Rustlers within just 3 points of taking game 4 and sending this one into a decisive 5th game.
And again, a reminder, game number 5 will be to 15 points. All other games to 25. Leading team must be ahead by 2 at 25. Leading team must be ahead by 2 at 15 if we get to game number 5. Rustlers football this week has a bye after a conference victory last week. Can use the bye, got a few injured players, and will be back in action a week from Saturday. Women's volleyball tonight.
Diffiné. Lombino tries to get to it, but it's that soft touch from the Tigers. It's good for a point. And chisel away at the lead now. It's just 3 points to the Rustlers.
That was a mishit ball that fell to the floor. Doesn't hurt to be a little lucky every now and then.
Briscoe digs. Over by Morel on the second touch. Diffiné with a set to the opposite side. Briscoe digs. she'll kill it too. Dealt with by the Tigers. Montez Lombino gets to it.
Good effort. Didn't work.
Can't keep it alive. She gave everything she had to get to that ball. Got a hand to it, but it just went the wrong way into the back of the gym. Morrell. Risco has to stretch to get to it. Easily dealt with by Aaron Cook, who finds a hole right in the middle of the court.
That kill down the middle has just been, there's no stopping it when your block is not there.
So the Tigers putting on a little run here. They've come back in a big way here. Just trail by one here, 21-22 late in game 4. Service into the net just when they were gaining some momentum.
And that certainly is a momentum killer, especially at this stage of the game.
Amanda Villalpando, one of their star players, puts that service right into the net. Rustlers just 2 points shy here, taking game 4. Katie Givens makes her way in to the match. Risco serve. Board. Here's Montez. It's long. Golden West asking for a deflection there at the net.
Miss Montez is usually golden on that kill. Apparently the ball was not touched. The official is right there.
So another close game. Similar to games 1, 2, and 3. Going down to the wire here. Golden West sitting on a 1-point lead. But it's Riverside to serve. Diffine. Lombino, not the best touch. And the Rustlers can't recover.
Poorly organized on that play. Allows the game to go to a tie at 23.
So tied at 23, and Coach Lawler needs the utmost concentration from his players.
A lot of pressure on the first-year coach, who is doing a great job, but he's playing a team that's never beaten him, never beaten Golden West. I'm sure he feels a little bit of pressure, but like he told you before the game, every game is its own game. You start at 0. We're tied now at 23 in game number 4. Both teams ready way before the minute time allotted. Riverside serving.
So Diffine, the setter for Riverside, back to serve. Risco, Morrell, Montez, tough to deal with. Tigers keep it alive.
Great save.
Lombino, Morrell, Montez again, touched the line. Good defensive play by the Tigers. Blocked, Montez keeps it alive. But
Riverside does it again.
alley board with a diving effort, can't get to it, and it's match point here to the Tigers. And Coach Lawler will call timeout yet again. So the Rustlers let one squeak away here late in game 4. It's not over yet, but it's certainly close. Match point to the Tigers.
Compliments to Riverside. They would not just roll over and go away in game number 4. They clawed back with good play, minimized the errors, and the Rustlers let them out.
They certainly made a lot of errors early on in game 4. It looked like things were going the Rustlers' way. However, as you said, a little bit of concentration, good coaching there by Monica Hayes, trainer of Riverside, and she got her team right back into this one, and now they're at match point here in game 4.
Yeah, we're one swing away. Golden West making a substitution.
Polo makes her entrance into the game yet again. Hasn't seen a lot of playing time so far, but Lawler will use her 6'2" height advantage here. Lombino, Morrell, Montez, blocked out of bounds.
Thank you. Thank you, tied at 24.
So we're going extra points here. We're going to the distance. It'll be
must win by 2. At this point in time, anybody that gets ahead by 2 wins this game.
The Lombino back to serve.
Minimize the mistakes. Couldn't make up her mind how to hit it. Hit it okay.
Not the best hit by Montez. Tigers keep it alive. It's going to have to
Important
go over. Does. Risco. Morel. Montez. In.
Important play.
Game point now to the Rustlers. Momentum swings all over the place. Lead changes.
Several great hits on that rally.
Tigers
It's in
looking to
play.
keep it alive. 4 hits. Game to the Rustlers. Riverside can't believe it. My goodness. We're going to game 5. We'll take a quick break and be back with the final game right after this. A little bit of technical difficulties. We apologize for that with our wireless microphone. I wish I had to hear what Opal had to say. It sounded like interesting stuff. But what an exciting finish we've got on our hands here, John. Game 4 could have gone either way.
Yes, and nothing is going to take away the importance of game number 5. The one thing that I will say to anybody that's not real familiar with modern volleyball, game 5 goes fast. 15 points does not take very long. If either team gets on a roll, 2 or 3 points can make all the difference in the world, especially early. Somebody's going to get to 15. We hope they're ahead by 2.
Golden West usually does not have their matches go to 5 games either way. They're usually decided in 3 or 4. They're a very efficient team.
In the years we've been doing men's and women's volleyball, we've only seen a 5th game on 2 or 3 occasions. It's not too common at this level. Pac-10 volleyball, they go 5 all the time. This is not the Pac-10.
We'll take this opportunity. We may not get another chance to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by the Broadcast and Video Department at Golden West College under the direction of Warren Carter. The broadcast is run entirely by students behind the camera, in front of the camera. We appreciate you watching.
And tonight, at several of the stations in the truck and on camera, we have several students doing their first broadcast. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. They're doing a great job.
Welcome aboard. We appreciate your efforts. All right, getting set for the decisive game 5. Rustler bench trying to get it pumped up here, asking for some support from the crowd.
Every point's very crucial when you're playing to 15.
And it's Lombino to get us started here.
The officials are checking rotation to be sure everything is right. The game will not start until they indicate things are right.
Monica Hayes, trainer coach for the Tigers, couldn't believe game 4 ended the way it did. A call by the official, but nonetheless, we're here in game 5. Lombino gets to it. Montez
Good
blocked
block.
the line. Wow.
Good block.
Montez got a hold of it. But it's the Tigers who jump out to a lead here. Grab the first point in game 5.
Every point's important.
Kaylin Ragsdale.
Riverside gets the first one.
It's been erratic on her serve. This one's powerful, falls in. Risco deals with it. Montez, Risco's going to have to put it over. Does well. Diffine. Catanese. Attempt is tipped at the line. Morel. Montez again.
Good block.
Instant replay of point 1 comes down to point 2, and it's Montez who's blocked at the line. Tigers jump out to a 2-point lead.
And just for information, anybody watching, when the ball is tipped at the net on a kill, that hit does not count. The other side still gets 3 hits.
Ragsdale's jump serve. Risco touches it. She'll put it over. Good save by Circle. Risco gets down to it. Board. Risco's going to have to put
go
it
over.
Yes, good play by Risco. Lombino
Nobody there.
stretches, can't get to it. And just like that, John, you mentioned every point is crucial, and the Tigers have jumped out to a
15. This
Three-point
can be critical.
Ragsdale again with the service. Looks short, falls into the net.
Thank you, Miss Ragsdale. We needed that help.
We mentioned she'd been a little erratic on her serve, sometimes excellent, sometimes well below par.
Well, she's certainly been a factor on the field, but her serves have not been the best.
Touch at the line. Lombino gets to it.
Has to go over.
Montez puts it over. Lombino tries to get to it.
What's the call? Point Riverside. Couldn't tell what was called, but point goes to Riverside.
Rustlers grab 1 point, but it's Riverside who sits on a 3-point lead here. Morel. Board, blocked down for a point to Riverside. That blocking in game 5 from Riverside has been superb, and Coach Lawler for Golden West calls timeout.
And that's Amanda Villapando, who has been a force for Riverside in their last 3 or 4 contests. She came up awfully big at the net that time.
Villapando finished the last game in their win over Santa Ana with 14 kills, 8 in the 3rd game.
Well, I think she's got 2 already in game number 5. Been big at the net.
So Riverside looking to gain a little bit of an edge here in the Orange Empire Conference standings, trying to take down the mighty Rustlers.
Riverside leads 5-1, game 5.
Catanese to serve. Lombino. Morel runs to it. Over, not over. I could have sworn Board was going to get to it. Going to say it was going to be over softly. But a miscommunication there by the Rustlers. And another mistake.
A little disorganized.
Catanese. Lombino. Here's Montez.
Good job.
That's better from Montez.
That will usually stop some of the bleeding.
However, the Rustlers have dug themselves into a 4-point hole here early on in game 5. Trailing 2-6. Good play at the net by Savage. Puts it over.
Set a little bit too far onto the Golden West side. Blocked to the floor.
Montez will continue her service here. Faith Alliston makes her way into the game for Alex Risco. Risco's been excellent defensively and offensively for the Lady Rustlers tonight. Define
has to go over.
Tigers tried to keep it over, but it was Faith Alliston's kill. It was too hot to handle. And the Rustlers cut the lead a little bit. They're just trailing by 2 off of Maritza Montez's service. Define over softly. Morel got to it. Board sets. Alliston with the kill.
Good block.
Montez gets down. Morel. Here's Board. Tries to go soft. Tigers figured it out. Poor play. Define, the setter, got that first touch, and when the setter gets the first touch, somebody else has to step in and set. Can often create a little bit of confusion, as we saw on that play.
And that time it was set out of bounds.
So the Rustlers just within 1 here. Lombino stretches, can't get to it again. Falls in that middle territory, that no man's land, that hole, whatever you call it.
There's about a 5-foot circle out there that Riverside has lived off of tonight. We see that a lot. It's just a very difficult area to guard.
Villapándo's service. Risco kills. Just long. Just long.
Not touched at the net. There they switch at 8. That's right. They switch sides in case there's an advantage one side or the other. In game number 5, first team to 8, teams switch sides. They don't switch scores. Riverside still ahead, 8-5.
And Riverside still with the service. The El Pondo will get things started again, just waiting for the officials to straighten things out, and they look ready. And here we go again, the El Pondo service. Risco, that's tough to deal with. Sloppy first touch by Risco. She claims responsibility, picks her head up.
Like we said earlier, in a 15-point game, every point is crucial. Riverside now takes a 4-point lead.
Lombino, here's Morel. Board, goes soft. Tigers has to be 4 hits, and it is.
4, 5, 6, get it over. On the playground, that works. This is not the playground. Point Golden West.
Wrestlers now trail by 3 here. However, at 9-6. She mentioned early points making the difference. Circle digs, Stiffenet, blocked at the line. Risco keeps it alive. Morel, Risco will kill. That's long.
It was tipped at the net. I thought I saw that. From up here, we could see the ball change trajectory, and I think the referee could see that too.
So
big point.
Ostunio will continue serving for the Rustlers. Circle, Diffinet. Rustlers get to it. Morel, here's Risco. Blocked at the net, kept alive by the Tigers. Good
there it
kill
is.
by Aaron Cook.
Right down the middle. That young lady has had a great night.
So 10-7. The Tigers sitting on a 3-point lead here in Game 5, the decisive Game 5. And it's Diffinet, the setter. Risco, Morel. Good kill by Givens. Albino, Risco finds a hole. Good kill, saved by the Tigers. And it's not enough. Couldn't bring it up.
Yeah, set right at the net again. There was no way that ball could be rebounded and hit over the net in one hit.
So Ali Board was set to serve, but Coach Lawler will make a substitution, and it's Athow, the setter, to come in. Service. Poorly dealt with by the Tigers. They're going to have to recover. Morel to Risco. Good save by the libero.
Go over. Good job.
Morel. Soft set there. That's better. Here's Risco. Off. Diffinet's head and out. Cuts the lead to 1, 10-9.
Little face plant.
Risco gets a hold of him when she can. And
timeout, Riverside.
Tigers call a timeout. So they jumped out to an early lead here, but the Rustlers have inched their way back, and we've got an exciting finish here in the decisive Game 5.
Fifth games can go fast. You got to get to 15 and be ahead by 2. Golden West has made a nice rally here. They have to sustain it. Riverside still has not shown any signs of fatigue. They played very consistent. They have blocked lots of kills, and they've made a living out of that little no man's land, about a 5-foot circle just behind the front line. Been very effective all night long.
I don't think their setter, Brittany Diffinet, has had any sort of rest tonight. She's played, I believe, every service so far tonight.
Well, the ride home on the 91 freeway will be a lot better ride for Riverside if they emerge successful. We wouldn't mind making it a difficult ride. They played extremely well.
At-house service. Diffinet sets. Maritza digs. Here's Risco. Blocked at the net.
Great block.
Risco will get another attempt. Goes over soft, finds the hole, ties it up at 10.
Well, we've had no success against that two-person block, so tip the ball, go for the soft spot. Tied at 10.
Adhow continues to serve. Circle dig, Stiffene. Lombino keeps
Has
it
to
alive.
go over, good job.
Good touch at the net by Givens. Tigers keep it alive. They put it over softly. Morel to Risco, puts it over soft. Tigers keep it alive. Block at the net. Tigers can't recover.
Great job.
And for the first time in Game 5, the Rustlers take a slight 1-point advantage.
Riverside has done a great job of protecting that middle soft spot. They just couldn't play that ball over the net.
Adhow continues to serve for the Rustlers. They're on a bit of a streak. Montez digs. Here's Risco. And it's just long. Looking for a tip, but none is called, and it's tied again at 11.
You hope for the tip at the net, but it wasn't there.
We've gone to the wire in all 4 games thus far. No surprise that we're going to go the distance here in Game 5. I don't think more points could be scored in a volleyball match than we've seen tonight.
They've been right at the max in each game.
Risco.
Get down.
From
Thank
deep.
you.
Catanese touched the line, deflected down, point to the Tigers who retake the lead. Just 3 points shy, and Coach Lawler calling timeout. In her second season here, Coach Monica Hayes, trainer, touched the line, deflected down, point to the Tigers who retake the lead. Just 3 points shy, and Coach Lawler calling timeout. In her second season here, Coach Monica Hayes, trainer, done an excellent job of keeping the composure for her Lady Tigers so far tonight. Whenever they get a slight lead, whenever they lose the lead, she's right there to give them some support, keep her ladies focused.
And they've been very consistent. Riverside has played as consistent as any team I've seen in the last 4 years. They don't seem to get rattled. They give up a little rally every now and then they just settle down and play the way they're coached. These two teams are very even. If they played 10 times, who knows? It could end up 5 each. They're very well matched, very evenly matched teams.
Coach Lawler is looking for a little bit of luck.
Well, you got to get even before you get ahead.
This home contest here, an Orange Empire matchup. And it's the Tigers to serve, just 3 points shy of taking the match. Risco digs. Montez from deep. Tigers keep it alive. It's got to be 4.
4 hits.
Indeed.
Thank you.
So tied up at 12 here. And it'll be Alex Risco to serve here, trying to break the tie.
Riverside's taking a timeout.
Both coaches being very cautious here, giving lots of instruction, not wanting to goof anything up here in the final moments of our endurance contest that we've got going on here tonight.
Good volleyball game between two very good teams. Between them, they've only lost 7 times out of 25 games. They've beaten some of the better teams in the state. Therefore, they are among the better teams in the state, playing pretty even tonight. And they're both ready with about 20 seconds left in the 1 minute time. Somebody needs to get 3 in a hurry.
Risco serves. It's going to have to be over from deep within their territory. Lombino digs. Here's Montez. Blocked at the line, down for Tigers point.
Great job. That's about as good as Golden West can have it with Montez killing. Hit right into the block. Played very well by Riverside. Every point's crucial.
Circle sets. Montez digs. Morel back to Montez. Blocked and out. So tied at 13. And again, as many points as we can squeeze into each game here, ladies. Crowd definitely getting their full enjoyment tonight.
And we have a bit of a crowd, which is nice. We've been to volleyball games here where if you weren't related to a player, you weren't here. But tonight, there's a pretty good set of students in the stands. Golden West teams tend to support each other very well. Couldn't get much closer than this.
Lombino service. Briscoe. Adhow. There's Montez. Tries to find a hole. Catanese is quick to recover. And Adhow can't dig that one out.
Big point.
Match point here.
Boy, a big point.
2. The Tigers. 14-13. Up by 1. Remember, they need to win by 2. 1 point will do it for Riverside.
Good time for a net serve.
Briscoe, it's long.
That's it.
Game 2, the Tigers. Riverside takes game 5, 15-13. Tough way to go down. And Riverside is broken. The many-year curse of not being able to beat Golden West College in women's volleyball. After a marathon contest, Riverside takes it by the smallest of margins. Will send it down courtside to Victor.
Hey guys, Riverside. Hey guys, this on the fifth set, Riverside ended up dominating on the defensive side. It was a key win for them. Amanda Vilpano played a big role in this win. You got to give it up to Riverside for finally snapping that losing streak to Golden West. And guys, we'll be back. We'll be right back with John and Rob after this break.
Spread the word.
All right, I'm joined by head coach Bill Lawler. Coach, we would have loved to have a win here on our first broadcast of your career here. However, it was a close contest, came down to the wire.
It was a tight game. I think we had definitely some opportunities to win at the end. Had 13-all. We got a couple swings for points, and we just didn't take it.
We've seen you guys practice. We've peeked our heads in a few times while you guys are practicing, and you look very strong. Some of the mistakes I saw tonight that we didn't see too often in practice.
Well, actually, you must have come and practiced at a good time because the girls have been really improving, over time, and they're much better than they were at the beginning of the year. Tonight, I think that's probably the best team we've played. They had a real good offense. I thought they, got on the ball fast. Their defense was excellent. They're a fast team, and we played okay. We had opportunities, but we definitely made too many mistakes.
All right, tell me a little bit about the difficulties you faced coming in here on very short notice, taking over the program.
Well, I started in late February. Just most of the recruits are gone by that time because I missed the high school season. So just basically getting the word out that I'm here. We have a program. Of course, we have great tradition of a winning program, 17 state championships. But besides that, that's it. I mean, we have some excellent assistant coaches, and we have a high-quality program with excellent training.
All right, you've done a great job building it out so far. We look forward to another broadcast with you and hopefully seeing you with another win.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, same here. Hopefully we win the next time.
Thank you, and good luck.
Good luck. Thank you.
Good luck, Coach.
Thanks. So you down for announcing? Or?
Oh, yeah.
All right, John. So it was an exciting finish there. Could have gone either way at the very end.
And I think the coach really put it into perspective. He indicated he thinks this is the best team they've seen. You can lose a game here and there and still be a pretty good team. We will play them again in the second round. Both teams will be better. But we were expecting a tough match. I think I said early on 4 or 5. Some nights you wish you were wrong. But Golden West really has, they have some things to work on. We felt that the Riverside squad played with a little more consistency. It would be very hard to get the games any closer. I just tallied up the points for both sides. Riverside scored 2 more points tonight than Golden West, and they won the best 3 out of 5. That's about as close as it can get and have somebody still win.
Certainly is, and coming after a big upset win over OCC last week, a little bit surprising they weren't able to keep that momentum.
Well, and I'm not big on upsets. I think the best team normally wins unless there's a big break somewhere along the line. We will play Orange Coast in this gym in the second round, and we'll certainly be there for that game. It's never fun to lose a ball game. We're used to winning on several levels here at Golden West. They played a very fine team tonight. They did not lose to an able team. Riverside's very good.
It was a close contest, but in the end, Riverside squeaks out a victory by the narrowest of margins. For everyone at the Golden West College Broadcast and Video Department and John McNichols, I'm Rob Frecker. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.